when you do this, it is a first step of creating relationships. And in the business of selling, in the game of selling, those who build lasting relationship succeed. Okay? And they succeed because of many reasons. One, they will make the first sale. Two, they will get returning customers. And three, they'll get referrals, which makes their selling game different. %20 of the good sales reps can close 80% of all their sales deals. Now that is a very small number. If you're working on commission, or if you're in business generally, you need to ensure that 80% of all your sales deals are in the bag. If you're working 30 days or 25 days or whatever number of days you're working in a month, 80% of the deals you need to close them. Okay, and this goes across the board. If it's about the year, 80% of the deals that you got an opportunity to pitch, to sell, you need to have them in the bag. Today, I'm going to be teaching you about how to set yourself up for that sales meeting so that when you go there, everything works just like you wanted it to. Stick around with me. I'm going to give you tips, and tricks, and we're going to go through a very interesting class. I personally believe today I have something that is worth everybody's while. What I'm about to teach you is about, you see, the game of life is about influence. And sales, like I said in the beginning, we are always selling. Every time you've got to convince people to buy your idea, to buy your product, in fact, just anytime you need to give a call to action for anything, that's a sale. But today we're talking about sales in the sense of selling. But what I'm saying is, even if you're a human resource, okay, you can benefit by understanding the things that are in this video and in the series of videos that I've been giving. Because my videos are about mind stuff, they're about the psychology of influence. And only this particular series are we talking about how to apply these particular principles, which remain constant across the board, but how to apply them in the game of selling. So stick around today. I'm going to give you a fantastic short video about how to set yourself up for a sales meeting or a pitch deck or a sales call, whatever it is. Now, have you ever woken up and you're going for a sales meeting? If you are like most people, there is the question of, I have to go and meet new people. I've got to convince them to buy my stuff, right? And there's also always the feeling of guilt. There's always that attitude of, I'm going to knock their door, I'm going to ask them to buy this stuff. And so we've built a certain fear whenever we are going for a sales meeting. It just gets to you. You feel like it's a difficult thing. So today I'm going to help you step out of that feeling, to step out of that stage, to step out of that frame. And next time you're going to make a sales, you're gonna be feeling fantastic. You're gonna bounce out of your seat, pick your coat, pick your notebook, and move towards your client with a lot of grace, a lot of confidence, a lot of, energy, good vibes. Because what I'm about to teach you today will show you how to set yourself up before that sales meeting. Now, like I always say, We always study here. In this channel, this is a channel where you come to gain knowledge. So I hope you have your notebook, because I have my notebook. My notebook. For those who know me, I've got my notebook ready. There you go. And this is a promise that whatever I'm going to teach you is manageable, because everything we're going to discuss will go on this piece of paper, just this. Ready? Let's go. So, before we go further, I want to tell you my objective. Why do we set ourselves up? Why do we prepare for a sales meeting? There are many reasons, but today I want to tell you the main reason why my video has been created is because I believe, and this is a fact, that attitude is everything. When you walk into a room, when you walk into a sales meeting, right? Or when the phone gets picked after you call in a sales meeting, your attitude will be 90% a determining factor on how that conversation goes, and if at all you're going to close the deal. So the first thing you want to do is to make sure that we have the right attitude before we walk into a sales meeting. So hence, why this video is so important. Okay? So, how do you set yourself up so that the attitude is right, the energy is right? If the attitude is right, the energy is going to be right, the reception will be fantastic, and the whole experience of selling is going to be an amazing experience. So I'm going to teach you the 3 S's, right? The letter S, the 3 S's of setting up yourself for a successful and an amazing experience in a sales meeting. Okay? So the first thing, write it down, is the shoes. Okay? So here is how we are writing it down. We're going to have a circle stating the shoes. So what am I talking about the shoes? The first thing you need to do is to step into your client's shoes. All right? So how do you step into your client's shoes, and why should you step into your client's shoes? Now, you cannot sell me success. You cannot sell something to me successfully if you do not understand me. You cannot sell anything, right, to anyone if you do not understand them. So, unlike the traditional way, the approach where you come in to sell me something, right? I want you to change that. First, understand me. Why do you understand me? So that you can know how to solve my problem. That is a shift in attitude. When you're walking in to make a sale, to close a deal, to earn a commission, to make profits, you're thinking about yourself, right? You're thinking, oh my God, if I get this check, I'm gonna take my wife for a holiday, I'll take my kids to school. That is the wrong attitude. That kind of thinking will get you in the wrong mindset. It will get you the wrong attitude, and you will not close a sale, because the moment you walk into that room, you will not be able to coherently address our issues. Okay, so we step into the first S is for shoes. We step into the shoes of our client. Okay, so what are we asking? We are asking, what are the issues? Okay, right? So what are the issues? What are the problems? What's the problem? What is the current state of affairs? What is the problem? Okay, so we're looking at the problem that we will need to solve. What is the problem we need to solve? Because when we do this, it is the first step of creating relationships. And in the business of selling, in the game of selling, those who build lasting relationship succeed. Okay? And they succeed because of many reasons. 1, they will make the first sale. 2, they will get returning customers. And 3, they'll get referrals, which makes their selling game different. Okay, so it gets to a point, and I've seen this in fact in my own game, where I can literally count on every week to get someone referring me a client. Okay, someone calls me and says, hey, I am calling, I'm so and so, and I was referred to you by my friend. And when someone comes from a referral, believe you me, that's a fun sell, because whoever referred you has done the selling for you, right? So we need to build relationships. So that's why we're trying to create a connection. That's why we're stepping into the client's shoes to understand their situation. Instead of us thinking about our situation and what we need from them, we're stepping into their shoes and asking ourselves, what do they need from us, right? What does my client want from me? What are they going through? What is their situation like? It's a different ball game, and that the whole of this game will change your psychology, and it's going to change your attitude, so that when you come to a sales meeting, you're set up with the right attitude, the winning attitude. Okay, so we look at the issues, we look at the problem, right? With an aim of creating a connection. So as we look at all that, we have connection in mind, right? So those 3 things you must note them. This is the why, and this is the what. Okay? The why is connection. What are you going through? What are the issues? What is your situation like? When I can understand your situation, I can say I feel you. When I feel you, it means I have a connection with you, right? So that is the first thing. Step into the shoes of your customer or your potential customer. So we move to the next one, all right? So I want you to create this kind of an image. I'm going to share it in a minute. There you go. I want you to draw an arrow. From the shoes, we go to the next stage. Think solution, right? So the next S is solution. So we've got solution right here. You have understood the problem of the customer, and you've got a product or a service that can solve their problem. Okay, but all people are different, right? So how I solve your problem with the same product might not be how I will solve the problem of the other person with the same product, right? Some people they want to buy a car because they are looking for the convenience of transportation. And you're selling cars. Another person thinks that buying a car is a status, all right? So they are looking at the status. How does this car improve my status in the society? How do I look good, right? So in that case, you're thinking about brands that have got aesthetics, brands that have got a status, right? So it's always, you have to think about, and even it could be the same brand, right? Could be you're selling a Jaguar, yeah, to a customer, and a Jaguar is a luxury car, right? So you're selling the Jaguar sedan to someone, or the Mercedes, right? They are both very luxury cars. They are very they are synonymous with status, high status, right? You find them with people with high status, or rather, the notion is that people who drive Mercedes, people who drive Jaguars, people who drive, these big cars, they've got high status. But one person might want the Mercedes because of, the convenience, the transportation. Another person is looking for status. So you need to think solution, and that solution will be informed by your understanding of their situation, right? And that's a whole lot of things. I'm going to be giving you another class on what we call neuro linguistic programming, NLP, okay, and how the game of psychology is influenced in this particular. I'm not talking about manipulation, I'm talking about solutions, right? So I'll be giving you a different video, so keep tuned. So you need to understand what is neuro-linguistic programming, right? If you're dealing with a client with left brain, right? Left brain. This client with left brain, they are more analytical, they think in a linear manner, they are very logical and practical. How do you sell to such a client? So this is part of what I'll be teaching you in future, but it's also part of this, right? How you create the solution, because the solution could be to a different problem. You could be selling a car, but for different reasons. Okay, another person is a right brain person. Yeah, these people are more intuitive, they are creative, they're innovative, they're emotional, right? So how do you appeal to their sense of intuitivity, to their sense of how they reason, so that you make that sale? So we're talking about solution, and we're talking about solution, we are asking ourselves, what are the benefits? Okay, benefits. What are the benefits? What benefits does your product give me as your client? I need to understand. You need to have clear picture of how the benefits. What are the benefits? Can you tell me exactly how I benefit from buying your product? So you're going through this internal process as you set yourself to the sales meeting. You're asking yourself, what are the benefits? Number two, what is a change? Very important, change. So I am in this particular state. You've got to move me to the next state, right? So you must think change. Everybody who is looking to buy a product or a service, they're looking to change their situation. So you must demonstrate change. How does this change my situation? How does it solve my problem? Okay, so that's very important, change. Because this is all about value, right? So you must think, what is the value? As you think about change, it must be change in terms of value, the value that you bring in with this product. How does it change my situation? So I want you to write down change. So here, you're looking at solution and you're thinking, what are the benefits? What are the benefits? And what is the change? Okay? Because when you come in, things change. And the other thing I want you to write down is improve. Improve. How does that improve my situation? Okay? So in this second S, we are talking about solution. Think solution. So you step into the shoes, you look at the problem, you look at the issues, you create a connection, and then now you think solution. How do you solve my problem? Right? What are the solutions? How do you think solution? Your solution will be around the benefits that it brings me. It will be about the change. Okay, so when you pitch to me, I must feel, wow, my life will change after this. My life will change after this, which is very powerful. And then you must think about improvement. How does that improve the quality of life? How does that improve my ways of how I operate? How does that improve my situation? Right? So you've got to think, improve, right? Okay, so we go to the other step. I said this is a lecture. It's going to be loaded with information and it's going to be very fruitful for you. You apply this kind of stuff, I promise you, you're going to be rocking. Okay? You'll be in the 20% of the good sales rep that close 80% of their deals. So here we go. I want you to draw an arrow. Let me just do all this all the way like that. Okay? So we got number one, shoes. We got number two, solution. And the third S is a story. Okay? So there are many kinds of salespeople, right? And there's a talk of a pitch. And while I'm going to, in fact, spend considerable time in this series of sales videos telling you about pitch, how to create a successful pitch, which is actually going to be one of the videos coming. I'm going to be giving you the steps that you can follow to create a successful sales pitch 100%. Because let me tell you, those people who close deals, they don't do it by mistake. All right, I have been in an international exhibition, right, in London, selling security solutions. An African company selling security solutions, and I closed deals, right? I was able to get invitations to visit companies, right? And how did I do that? Because I had a script. I had a script that was selling my story. And the script was compelling. The script was authentic. The script was convincing. And that is how I got my deals. So I know the stuff I am telling you. So the story is what you would call a sales pitch. But I want us to step out of that, that traditional notion. When you think about a sales pitch, you think about a guy in a suit, yeah, talking at you. Who wants to be talked at? Nobody wants to be talked at, okay? So you step into our office, you're wearing your Italian suit, okay? You're such a savvy seller, and here you are, you're pitching us your product. It's okay to look decent, and we talked about this in previous videos. But what I'm saying is the attitude is everything, okay? The approach is everything. The approach makes you step in, whether in a suit or in a t-shirt, in a way that people will receive you. People will be encouraged. So the story is the pitch. But the story, I don't want you to get it wrong. A few keys to a successful pitch that I'm going to point to you. Number one, your story must be a discussion. Okay? Discussion, very important. Unlike, it should be a dialogue, not a monologue. Okay? I'll show you how to set it up. So a dialogue, not a monologue. You must have a conversation. Conversation, right? So we're talking about discussion. We're talking about dialogue. We're talking about conversation, right? So your story must engage the client. To start with, they say listening is better than talking. So you've got to get in there with an attitude of asking questions, get to know their situation, get feedback. What is their situation now? What would suit them? That kind of stuff. Once you get that in this story, I want you to now go ahead and give them a case study. A nice story of a case study. And this case study must encompass the following things. One, it must be relatable. Relatable. So by relatable, I mean the customer must be able to relate their situation to this story. How your story, how your product, how your solution solved a problem, right? How you had a similar situation and how you've solved that problem with your service, with your product, creates a connection. The customer can already now shift. See where we started, in the shoes. They can put themselves in the shoes of this story and see how their situation is going to change based on how you changed another situation with your solution. All right? So it must be relatable. It must show a practical, this is very important, okay? So we're talking about the practical application. Okay? Practical. Write it down. Practical application. practical application of your solution to a similar situation. All right? So this must be very well thought about, and there's not enough time for me to show you how to do this, but in subsequent videos I'm going to show you how to create this story, how to make it a discussion in the beginning, and how to make it a dialogue, how to have this conversation about your pitch, right? How to make your pitch a conversation, and how to now take it to the next level and give a relatable story, which demonstrates a practical application of your solution to a similar situation that they can relate with, and how that changes their situation. So that at the end of the day, the customer now steps in the shoes of your story, of your characters in the story, and projects their situation and their imagination to the changed state. And that's how you close a sale. All right? So I'm going to keep it simple. It's been a long video, but I hope this was very useful. If you don't set yourself up before a meeting, then you set up yourself to fail in that meeting. You'd rather not go if you're not prepared. And this script right here is a real preparation for such a meeting. Like I always say, you're always selling. Don't sell yourself short. Until next time, I'm glad that you've watched this video. If you like what you've heard, and if you think that this is good stuff, and I hope it is, kindly click the subscription button if you're not subscribed to my channel. I promise to keep you informed all the time, so I would like to request you to click the bell button so that you can be among the very first people to get this kind of useful stuff to keep you going. On top of that, if you like what you just watched, I'd like to request you to kindly click the thumbs up button. It's always very important. It gives a good image to my channel, and also it makes me feel a sense of connection. Remember, in this game of life, if you've got nothing to give, then you've got nothing to gain, right? So when you give someone that thumbs up, when you actually, you're so generous, you're so graceful that you can watch some work put together by someone and appreciate it and give them a thumbs up, you've just given something. And every time you give, you receive. So there you go. This is your opportunity now to do something. Go in the comments. Let me know. Say something. Let me know what you feel, right? And I will be able to relate. Let me know what you want to see next, right? You can also comment what you understand that I said, or you can add to what I said. This is not everything. I don't have monopoly of knowledge. So until next time, salute. Have a good day. Sell like a boss.